Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial and I'm going to show you how to publish your own package on Mops. So basically Mops is a package manager for Motoko and it's fully on chain, decentralized and all the other things. So basically we have to actually begin right here and I'll just click on, this is the website for Mops by the way. So it's mops.one. You just load it up and then this is the interface that you get. Already, already there are packages that have been published, as you can see, memory hash table, different packages, and yeah. So if I click on any of the packages, you will see it has instructions on how you can actually use it in your own Motoko code. All right, so I will click on documentation to see how to get started. And then you will see that to get started, we have to first actually install Mops on our machine. But you will have to have Node.js, a version greater than 18, and DFX, a version greater than 0.10.0. So you have the options of installing Mops, using car, and using NPM. You can choose the one that will work for you. So I will start by creating a new GitHub repo and just put here simple math. We'll create a package that does simple math, that is adding, subtracting, dividing, and multiplying. So we have an empty repo here, and I'll just run it on my computer. So load, though it's empty, but then it will still work. Simple math. I'll open it in my code editor and then we will begin from there. So right now I have an empty repo and we need to configure a few things. From the documentation, they told us that we have to actually first install Mops, and you can use any of the two options. If you, let's say you choose this, you just copy the code, come in the VS Code and then paste it. Mops will be installed. I already have it installed, so I won't reinstall it again. And as you can see, I already have it installed. So the next step is actually to initialize Mops in our project, and we do that by writing Mops in it. Press enter, and then you have two options: the option of using Mops in your package and the option of publishing a package on Mops. So we choose the second one. We enter the name as simple math. That would be the name of the package. Maybe simple test math or test simple math. I just want to make this descriptive enough that it is a test package, test simple math. We can, let's leave it here and make sure all the letters in the name are small letters. Otherwise, it will throw some errors when you're trying to publish. So description, page that's simple math. All right, then repository name, that's where we have to actually enter our repo name, our repo URL. So I'll just copy it, come back and paste it, and then maybe math simple, MIT license owner. So right here they are asking us to whether we want to include a test file, and I would recommend you press yes. And then also GitHub actions, we could actually press no for now. So as you can see, our package has Mops has initialized our repo, and it now has some more files in it: the source file where we'll write our code, the test file, and the other files that we will need to use. So if I open up the source folder rather, and then inside there is a lib file, there is this code that is pre-generated, and as you can see, it's basically one function that adds two numbers, it returns a nut. So if I first delete this, and then it is wrapped inside the module, right? So packages, need to be wrapped as modules in Motoko, and like the code for the packages has to be wrapped as modules. So inside the module, you can do anything. You can add brain functions, you can add actor classes actually, but in this session we will stick to like the brain functions, since we don't need to store. We just need to do like calculations, not storing state and all the other stuff. So I will replicate this function. I add more, and then this will actually become subtract, multiply, and then divide. So subtract is actually here, multiply you just put this, and then divide you put this. All right, so this is all that our package will be doing: adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. Okay, so now that we have all the functionality for our package, it's time now to test it out. And how do we test it out? Is writing some tests for it. So if you go back to the Mops documentation, you will see that actually if you come to testing, Mops test shows you how to test out your code. There's a command that allows you to run test files, so it's called Mops test. But then there is a prerequisite that you have to have all your test files in the test folder, and then they should end with a .test.mo file like format. So if you go back here, you will see that inside the test folder we have actually the lib.test.mo, and it follows all the prerequisites. So here they only have a test for one method, which is add, but we can actually import more, which was divide, then multiply, and then subtract. All right, subtract. And then right here, I just delete this and I replicate it also. Subtract, divide, multiply. So subtract 1 and 2, it should actually be like 6 and 2, which will be equal to 4. Divide maybe 10 and 2, which will be equal to 5. Then multiply 7 and 2, which will be 14. All right, so now that we've written, assuming these are all the tests that we need for our file, you just have to come here in the terminal and write Mops test, and then you will see your tests in action. All right, so our tests are now working. So if I change 1, then I put, we know 7 multiplied by 2 should be 14, but I've now put a 13. So if I rerun the test command, it should fail, and it actually shows you where the test failed from. So on this specific line, on line 6, which is true, 7 multiplied by 2 shouldn't be 13, should be 14. So rerunning the Mops test command, our tests are now running once again. So at this stage, we have done, I think, 2 things: writing our code for the file, for the package, and then writing the tests for it. Okay, so the next step would be actually to publish our code on Mops, but then there's something that I want to talk about before we do that. So if we open up the mops.yml file, you will see that all the information about there is concerns the package itself: the name of the package, the version, the description, the repository, the keywords, and the license. So in this file, usually this is where you specify any dependencies that your package relies on. And an example would be like the base package. Like most packages rely on base to import different methods. What I mean by this is if you go back to our lib.mo in the source folder, and then instead of using the default NAT, we import it from base, right? So if you import it from base, it means this package is using base package as a dependency. So if I try to run the Mops test, it will fail. And the reason is that base is not defined. So to remove this error, actually have to come here and then specify that my package will be using base as a dependency, which is I think the latest version is 2. So if I rerun, it should now work fine. So that's the trick. So any package that you import inside this file or inside the test file, you have to specify it in the mops.tml file as a dependency. So I think that makes some sense. So, and right now, actually, we've done 3 things. We've written the code for the package, the code for the test, and then we specified the dependencies. The next thing is actually we have to first push the code to GitHub, then git commit, first commit the default one. Okay, then git push. Okay, so now we have our code on GitHub. If we navigate back to GitHub and then we refresh, okay, we should have our code right here. It was pushed, just now. So far so good. Okay, the next step is actually, now that we have our code on GitHub, everything is working well, meaning our package is working well and can be used by other projects that may find it useful. So it's time to publish our package. So publishing a package, you come here, click on publish. You'll see that all you have to do is actually run the mops publish command, but then you have to first import the identity that will own this package. So since this is like on the blockchain, we usually have an identity that owns stuff. So this is the same scenario that we're going to cater for. So you just write mops import identity, and then specify the identity that you want. So I'll just come here, mops import identity, then just put $, this, and then inside dfx identity export test ID. This is my test ID that's I'm missing right now. And then does that make sense? I don't know. My private key is now open. So I think I forgot one thing right here. Then let's have first clear this. I forgot to put this, and then I don't know what's the issue. Anyway, going back to this mops export identity, I think I need to just copy this and then paste it, and okay, and test ID. All right, so I think I was making an error somewhere. They require you to put the password, so I'll just set it up, and then test ID, and then my identity is exported. So all I have to do is actually now do mops publish, and we wait for things to be pushed to the mops website. So let's write the password, and as you can see, it is uploading the files to the mops website. If this step is successful, we should actually go to the mops website, and we should find a package with the same name that we specified here. All right, so as you can see that this has been published, and we have our current version 1.0.0. And if I go to the Mops website right here, where is it? Mops.1, and then I search for this package, it should be there. Simple math, a package that does simple math, right? It's interesting. So, okay, as you can see, Mops add, this is how you can add it in your file. So I'm the owner right here, and then all right, so we have successfully published a package on Mops, and now it's actually time to test it out. So I will still use the same project here, VS Code, and now instead of actually in our lib.test.mo, instead of importing the methods from the source file itself, we will actually import them from the package. But to do that, we will first add the package. Right here, Mops add, installing simple math. Okay, successfully added. If you check in the Mops, you will see that now we have it as a dependency. So in here, I can actually import simple math, then Mops simple math. All right, so instead of here, then if I delete this, and now I can actually come here, change this, and then I press it, and then a dot. This should remove all the errors. And okay, time to test out our code. So Mops test should still work. Wow, that's interesting. So we have we published the package, and then we've added it in the Mops, and now we are using it actually to test our stuff out. So you could actually use it in the main.lib if at all you're writing code different from this. I just import it the same way, and it will still work. And so that is it on how you can publish your own package. Right now our package is on version 101 1.0.0. So if at all maybe the package had some issues and bugs, and you wanted to change to upgrade the version, all you can do is actually do mops bump, mops bump, mops bump, and then you will select whether you want to do a major or a minor or a patch. And so if I choose maybe a patch, you see that now our package will be installed right here. So actually add everything on GitHub, and commit. Anyway, before we actually add on GitHub, let's commit. Just add a simple patch fix. Okay, git push, and then your version now will be upgraded from 1.0.0 to the new version, which is 1.0.1. And so I think this is the end of the video, and hope to see you in the next video.